Hello everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. This is lecture number 9 and the topic today is Government of India Act 1919, very famously known as Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. Very important topic. Let us start. When we talk about the Government of India Act 1919, now this was an act of British Parliament that sought to increase the participation of Indians in the administration of their country. And the act was based on the recommendations of a report by Edwin Montagu, who was the Secretary of State for India, and Lord Chelmsford, who was India's Viceroy. And Lord Chelmsford was India's viceroy between 1916 and 21. So hence the constitutional reforms were set forth by this act. They are known as Montagu-Chelmsford reforms or Montford reforms. इसको हम बहुत famously ना Montford reforms भी बोलते हैं इस act को. This you have to remember. Okay? All right. Now, there are different principal features of the Government of India Act 1919 that we are going to study today. कुछ features हैं इस act के जो हम पढ़ने वाले हैं, ठीक है? So make sure that you attend the class very seriously and also do not forget to make notes. Okay? The class PDF will be uploaded on our Telegram channel, Simplifying UPSC with Ease. You can download the PDF also from our Telegram channel. Let's start the class. Now please make this chart. जल्दी से ये चार्ट बना लीजिए. It is not in the PDF. You have to create this chart. Okay, ये extra notes का part है. So when we talk about the principal features of this particular act, this particular act you can say brought many reforms and many changes on the provincial level and the central level. In the provincial level, the changes were made on the executive level and legislature level. Executive level में हुआ क्या था, यहाँ पर डायarchy को introduce कर दिया गया था. Diarchy was introduced. Diarchy means now there were two classes of administrators. We have executive councillors and we have ministers. That is diarchy. डायarchy मतलब दो लेवल पर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स को अपॉइंट किया गया, एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसलर्स एंड मिनिस्टर्स. ओके, एंड हियर हु वाज द एग्जीक्यूटिव हेड ऑफ द प्रोविंस? प्रोविंस का जो एग्जीक्यूटिव हेड है उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? दैट एग्जीक्यूटिव हेड विल बी गवर्नर. ओके, एट द प्रोविंशियल लेवल द एग्जीक्यूटिव हेड विल बी गवर्नर नाउ. एंड एट द प्रोविंशियल लेवल द सब्जेक्ट्स, जितने भी आपके एरियाज होते हैं ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, दैट इज द सब्जेक्ट्स, दे वर डिवाइडेड इनटू टू लिस्ट. वी हैड द रिजर्व्ड लिस्ट, हमारे पास रिजर्व्ड लिस्ट थी, एंड वी हैड द ट्रांसफर्ड लिस्ट. ओके, एंड हियर द गवर्नर वाज इन चार्ज ऑफ द रिजर्व लिस्ट. रिजर्व लिस्ट में कौन इंचार्ज होगा? गवर्नर इंचार्ज होगा अलोंग विद द एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसलर्स. ओके, नाउ रिजर्व लिस्ट में सब्जेक्ट्स थे लॉ एंड ऑर्डर. We have irrigation as a subject in the reserve list. Then we had finance. Finance भी subject था. Land revenue was also one such subject. Okay. And the ministers were in charge of the transferred list. यहाँ पर in charge कौन होंगे? Ministers will be in charge. Here we had subjects like education, local government, health, excise, industry, public work, etc. And the ministers were responsible to the people who elected them through the legislature. Okay, point clear? When we talk about these executive councillors, जब हम इन executive councillors की बात करते हैं, they were not responsible to legislature. Now write it down. Ministers जो थे, they were responsible to the legislatures. Executive councils और councillors, they were not responsible. ये लोग responsible नहीं थे to the legislature. That you have to remember. So I hope you have created. Now when we talk about legislature, जब हम बात करते हैं इधर legislature की, we have to remember the size of provincial legislative assemblies was increased. इसमें size increase कर दिया गया था. Now about 70% of members were elected and there were communal and class electorates. अब यहाँ पर class electorates भी थे और communal electorates भी थे. ये आपको points याद रखना है. For these are the features. Okay. And some women could also vote now. Governor's assent was required to pass any bill and he also had a veto power. He could also issue ordinances. So this was the changes in the provincial level. ये तो provincial level की changes की बात हो गई. Now coming towards the central level. Now when we talk about the central government, you have to remember that in the central level, at the executive level, we had the chief executive authority which was with the governor general. and Governor General could issue ordinances, and he could also certify bills that were rejected by central legislature. Now here we had two lists, central list which was handled by the center, and we had provincial list which were handled by the provinces. And here out of 6 members of Viceroy's Executive Council, 3 were Indian members. 6 में से 3 जो थे वो Indian members थे. Now coming towards the legislature, bicameral legislature was set up with 2 houses. We had Legislative Assembly, forerunner of the Lok Sabha, and Council of State, forerunner of the Rajya Sabha. Now here the nominated members were nominated by Governor General from Anglo-Indians and Indian Christians, and here in the lower house members had a tenure of 3 years, while in the upper house, that is Council of State, members had a time period of 5 years. Okay. Now here one most important point was that legislatures could ask questions and also vote a part of the vote, and only 25% of budget was subject to vote. That you have to remember. Rest part was non-votable. And a bill had to be passed in both the houses for it to become a law. अगर किसी बिल को लॉ बनाना है दोनों हाउसेस में उसको पास करना पड़ेगा. ओके, पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया यहाँ तक सभी को? ऑल राइट. नाउ हियर there are certain facts that you have to remember when it comes to Governor General's position. The Governor General's assent was required for any bill to become a law, even if both houses have passed it. Governor General could also enact a bill without legislature's consent, and he could prevent a bill from becoming a law if he deems it as detrimental, that is as negative to the peace of the country. He could also disallow any question or adjournment motion or debate in the house as well. So supreme power was in the hand of the Governor General. So when we talk about Government of India Act 1919, we have studied so far that Edwin Montagu, he was the then Secretary of State of India, had advocated for increased participation of Indians. After many meetings with Indian representatives, Montagu and Lord Chelmsford, who was the Governor General, they published the Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms on July 8, 1918. This act is also known as Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms or Government of India Act of 1919. Now before we study further, here's a small announcement for all of you. Unacademy has started new batches from today, that is 31st March 2021. And along with that, we have a mega subscription offer also for all of you, which is valid till today itself. Now here in this offer, you are going to get guaranteed subscription till July 31st, 2022 if you take a 1-year subscription today. अगर आज आप 1 ईयर का सब्सक्रिप्शन अनअकैडमी प्लस पे लेते हो तो आपको 1 ईयर प्लस 4 मंथ का एक्स्ट्रा सब्सक्रिप्शन टिल प्रीलिम्स 2022 मिलेगा. Now this is a very wonderful offer for all of you because you are getting extended subscription, right? Every day counts. The new batches have started from today. The links are given below in the description box. You can take your subscription. Also, we have UPSC CSE optional combo as well. So if you want to prepare your optional along with the GS papers, you can take your subscription today. And also you can use code ARPITA10 to get 10% discount on your plus subscription. आपको आपके प्लस के सब्सक्रिप्शन पर डायरेक्टली 10% का डिस्काउंट मिल जाएगा अगर आप ये कोड यूज करते हैं ARPITA10. All the links are given below in the description box. You can subscribe today because the offer is valid till today. So let us understand the important features of 1919 Act. So far we have discussed all the important features. Let us revise. First, it relaxed the central control over the provinces by demarcating and separating central and provincial subjects. I told you transferred और reserve subject हो गए थे, ठीक है, जिससे क्या हुआ administration को और better बनाने की कोशिश की गई, right? And the transferred subjects were administered by governor with the help of ministers. The reserved subjects, they were administered by governor and his executive council. तो यहाँ पर तो ministers help कर रहे हैं governor को, and over here reserved subjects में the executive councillor is helping the governor. So we had diarchy, right? Diarch means double rule. So it introduced for the first time bicameralism and direct elections in the country. They can ask you which act was responsible for introducing bicameralism and direct elections. It is Government of India Act 1919. That you have to remember. It also extended the principle of communal representation. How? By giving separate electorates for Europeans, Anglo-Indians, Indian Christians and Sikhs. And it granted franchisee to a limited number of people. Okay, on the basis of property or on the basis of tax. तो फ्रेंचाइजी भी इसने दी, इस एक्ट ने दी. नाउ व्हाट इज फ्रेंचाइजी? लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड. इट इज हु कुड वोट. द क्वेश्चन ओवर हियर इज हु कुड वोट. कौन वोट कर सकता है, ये क्वेश्चन आ जाता है. ठीक है. सो द फ्रेंचाइजी वॉज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड. देयर वॉज नो यूनिवर्सल अडल्ट सफरेज. यूनिवर्सल अडल्ट सफरेज नहीं था. वोटर्स शुड हैव पेड लैंड रेवेन्यू ऑफ ₹3,000 और शुड हैव अ प्रॉपर्टी with rental value और should have taxable income. या तो प्रॉपर्टी होनी चाहिए रेंटेबल वैल्यू की या फिर टैक्सेबल इनकम होनी चाहिए, वही लोग वोट कर सकते हैं. ओनली दोज पीपल कैन वोट. This was the condition. And they should possess previous experience in the legislative council in order to vote. They should be members of university senate or they should hold certain offices in local body. So there were conditions on people if they wanted to vote. And it also created a new office of High Commissioner for India in London. London में इंडिया के लिए representation के लिए High Commissioner का office start किया गया. Okay, and transferred some functions to him also. It provided for establishment of Public Service Commission. This is very important line. They can ask you which act was responsible for establishing the office of Public Service Commission. That is the Government of India Act of 1919. Hence, we have a Central Public Service Commission which was set up in 1926 for recruiting the civil servant. So they can ask you that also. वो आपसे ये भी पूछ सकते हैं, right? That when was the Central Public Service Commission office was set up? It was set up in 1926, that you have to remember. And for the first time it separated, underline this, provincial budgets from central budget. Now two kinds of budget were established. And it provided for appointment of statutory commission also, ताकि 10 years के बाद इंडिया में किस तरीके की वर्किंग चल रही है उस पर रिपोर्ट दी जा सके, because of which that commission also arrived in India. Okay. So these were the features. Now let us understand what were the drawbacks. First was franchisee was limited. The option of voting was limited. That is one drawback. At the center, legislator had no control. Legislature का कोई control नहीं था over Governor General and his executive council, and the division of subjects in the reserved list and transferred list was not satisfactory. That is another point. प्लस यहाँ पर एक और बात थी कि ऑन द होम गवर्नमेंट, दैट इज इन ब्रिटेन्स फ्रंट, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1919 मेड एन इम्पोर्टेंट चेंज, राइट? कैसे? यहाँ पर क्या हुआ था, ब्रिटिश एक्सचेकर को अब पे किया जा रहा था, बिकॉज द ऑफिस वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन लंदन ना फॉर इंडियन हाई कमिश्नर. सो द ब्रिटिशर्स वर, ब्रिटिश एक्सचेकर वाज बीइंग पेड, राइट? दैट वाज आल्सो नॉट अंडरस्टूड. दैट वाज आल्सो काउंटेड एज अ drawback or flaw. The provincial ministers had no control over finances over the bureaucrats, because of which the provincial ministers and the bureaucrats, they used to keep on fighting amongst themselves, right? Ministers were not consulted, they were not prioritized, etc. They were not given respect. So these were the drawbacks of this particular act. ये drawback था इस particular act का. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. उम्मीद करती हूँ आपको ये lecture अच्छा लगा हो. If you really enjoyed it, do not forget to like the video, share the video with other aspirants, and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you.